Hey guys, hello, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I have been in Boston. I'm in the North End right now for a couple hours, just walking around, enjoying the day. It was supposed to be a really long layover, and I had some plans. I was actually going to take the ferry out to the Cape, but I I took a nap, which is a big mistake. I slept for like 5 hours, where I meant to sleep for an hour at most, and then jump on a ferry. But yeah, I overslept, wasted most of the day. So I figured I'd come down to the North End and grab a bite to eat. This is the North End. North End is, this is one of the coolest shops. If you love coffee or just Italian odds and ends, this is a great shop. Been there for generations. The North End is Boston's Little Italy, and I'm sure you can tell by the names of the restaurants and things. But if you look at the street names, little fun fact, the North End, Little Italy of Boston, before the Italians got here, it was the Irish. This was, I don't know, Little Ireland, I guess. But so the Italians came after the Irish. But it's just a really quaint, charming little place. It reminds me a lot of parts of New York. Now, we're coming up on my favorite restaurant in the entire planet. Well, first we're going to see one of my least favorite places. I'm sure it's changed a bit, but La Familia Giorgio, whatever it is. It used to be famous when I first moved here. It used to be famous for the most enormous servings of bad Italian food. You could eat for a week with just your leftovers, but maybe it's changed. But now, after we chat for a few minutes, I am going to step into Locanti's, right there. Locanti's. It is quite possibly my favorite Italian restaurant in the world. There are probably hundreds of Italian restaurants in the North End, but I think that Locanti's is by far the best. If you like seafood, they have a seafood stew chowder kind of thing called cioppino, which I don't eat, but whenever I would bring someone here on a date, they would order it. And I always wished I liked seafood because it was so good looking. But I figured before I go in there, I'll take a little walk around. Hi. Oops, sorry. Oh, another famous place. All right, so if you are in Boston, late night, you've been out drinking, having a good time, stop by Boba's Bakery. It's this place. Let's pop in there. They're open 24 hours a day, and you can order sandwiches and pastries and coffee, and it's just insane. Italian cookies. I think I might stop in here after. Ooh. And you can get sandwiches and stuff 24 hours a day. Back when I drank, I would go there fairly often. Oh, hey, while we're here and while we're walking around, I just caught sight of something that's mildly interesting if you like U.S. history. This, if you can see that white spire there, that is the Old North Church. What was the saying? One if by land, two if by sea, whatever, I don't know. The Paul Revere ride, all that stuff. That is the church. Let's walk up there. But you can see it's just a charming, charming little neighborhood. And after we take a quick peek at the church there, I'll walk over to Hanover Street and maybe stop by Mike's Pastry for a nosh for later on. Let's see. So this trip, super easy. We have a great lead. I'm flying B. Everyone was wonderful last night. We had a great group of guests. We had a really particularly nice woman who I was introduced to her when she came up and asked me to throw away a bag of snack mix, like pretzels and tortilla chips and stuff like that. She had dropped her whole bag of snacks on the ground, on the carpet. And then she picked up every single piece of it, put it back in the bag, and brought it back for me to throw away. That might sound like an everyday occurrence. It's not. It was very unusual that someone were to clean up after themselves so thoroughly. But we got to talking. It was really emotional. She had just lost her husband 2 years ago, lost her son. And it was just really an amazing conversation with a great lady who was very thoughtful. So this has nothing to do with Boston or what I'm seeing, which is the Old North Church. All right. Hey. I've been through here a number of times. I'm not going to go on the tour. But I think I might try to walk through. Oops, sorry. I'm going to pause this for a sec because you really don't. Oh, wait, before I pause. See that red line? If you are in Boston and you have lots of time and you like history, there is a walk that you can take by following this red line. It is painted. It's a couple miles, but it's painted on the ground, and in some places it's red brick, a little bit more creative. But you take this path, you walk this path, and you see all sorts of history, American history. What's this? Dog tags. The Iraq-Afghanistan Memorial. A dog tag hangs in honor of each U.S. service member who sacrificed their life in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. May all who lost their lives rest in peace. Huh. Okay. All right. So here we are with the red line. Oh, and here you can see where it's done in bricks. So yeah, this little tour will take you along really almost all of the most important historic spots in Boston. Kind of cool. This is sort of an iconic little place in the North End. All right. What a beautiful day. It's probably in the 80s. 85, 87 degrees, moderate humidity, which is killing me because I'm so used to being dry in Vegas. All right, well, I'm going to pause this because this little part of the walk isn't very interesting, and I'll see you in a second. There is a good shot of the statue of Paul Revere and his famous ride. Something kind of funny happened on the subway, which is called the T here. I was on the T and I heard two guys talking about number of seats listed, how many seats were available. They were just chatting with each other. And I looked up and I said, so who do you guys fly with? And they were kind of surprised. And the funny thing that happened is that one of them looked at me and said, oh, I was wondering if it was you, or he was trying to get a better view and see if it was really me. And it was kind of funny because he has seen some of my videos. He works for United. Hello, if you're seeing this video. And I find it stranger and stranger because it's happening more and more often that wherever I go, someone recognizes me from my YouTube channel, which is tiny. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of you. There's 3,300 subscribers now, which is mind-blowing, but still compared to other YouTubers, that's not really a lot, right? But the number of times people say that they've recognized me from my videos. I find that very strange. And cool, but a little awkward too, especially since I look like a mountain man with my beard being as bushy as it is. So I'm still walking around the North End here. I'm on Hanover Street, which is the main drag, and where you'll find most of the bigger restaurants. Oh, Giacomo's over there. Giacomo's really great. But I'll tell you, Locanti's, my favorite. I almost went into a story about Locanti's, and it would have been 45 minutes long. Suffice to say that I love the place. I wonder if Carla and her brother Chris, I think, still own the place. It's been a long time since I've eaten there. It's probably been, 5 or 6 years, if not longer. All right. Oh, wait, I was going to pause this here, but I'm coming up on Mike's Pastry. This is turning into a tourism video. So I'm coming up on Mike's Pastry. If you are a local to Boston, you will have you'll have a favorite, and it's either Modern or Mike's. And I'm not sure if you heard it, but someone walking by when I said when you're local, she says you don't go there. Locals don't typically go to Mike's Pastry. It's always tourists, and they look like tourists. But let's walk in anyway. Now, do you remember when you walked into Boba, how sort of really old school Italian it seemed? Mike's, although look, see that thing called a lobster tail? That's the size of my face. I've eaten one of those all by myself. And the pastries, especially the cakes, you can see them over there. They look tasty, but they taste kind of like sawdust. I hate to be so negative, but I'm not a huge fan of Mike's. But it is very popular. People like to walk around with their little cardboard Mike's pastry boxes with a little twist of white and red string. So just to give Modern Pastry their props, I'll walk down there before I go into to get something to eat at Locanti's. Oh, my favorite place for coffee. Now, if you have a chance and you want to just kind of relax after walking around, there's a place called Cafe Vittoria. It is undeniably probably one of the coolest little coffee shops in Boston. Not really coffee so much, but espresso. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Talking about pastries and stuff. Gosh, there's so much history and so many stories come to mind as I walk down through the North End. And there's Modern. Let's go walk into Modern. I'm going to put this on pause for a second. All right, so there's Modern Pastry. Now, I was kind of heartbroken years ago when they modernized, no pun intended, but now can you already tell by looking at the pastries that they're just more, I don't know, they're just cooler and better. I'm going to pick up a couple things for my hotel room, but this place, before it was like redone, was almost as sort of old school looking as Boba. Maybe I'll stop by after I eat. Never come into Modern Pastry on an empty stomach. All right. And yeah, so that's a little taste of the North End. And I'm gonna walk over to my favorite restaurant, Locanti's, grab a bite to eat. Then I might walk over to the Harborside. Sorry about that sound of that helicopter. It's hovering right over me. I might head over to the waterfront just to kind of sit there and enjoy. I don't know what's going on. It's hovering right there. So, there's a taste of the North End. One of my favorite places. And thought I'd say hi because I haven't filmed much lately. If you have any, I don't know what I was going to say right there because I think I'm so hungry. Yeah, so I'm going to let you go. I will talk to you guys later. You have a great day and fly safe. Bye.